everyone to the greatest mystery.
And on this show, we'll be discussing shocking yet interesting mysteries from around the world. We all love mysteries, and some people say it's a perfect dopamine trigger for us. We constantly want to learn more things and understand how they work. Today, with the technology we have solved the mysteries which in the past were considered almost unsolvable. For instance, the pyramids, earlier considered to be an act of God, because back in the days there were no cranes to transfer the stone from the bottom to the top. But fortunately, in 2014, a research done by the University of Amsterdam, it was concluded that the Egyptians used either sand or clay to transfer the stones from one place to another while using a large number of workers. Another mystery that was solved was rather funny. There was a farmer in Westchester, North London, in 1883. He made a weirdly interesting discovery that all of his cows were facing either south or north while grazing. The news of the discovery spread like wildfire, and scientists around the world were really confused. Some even concluded that cows have some sort of internal compass that help them to make directions. The answer to the question was rather simple. The cows did it to avoid the sunlight, and it's a defense tactic. As cows used to be wild animals before they were taken as pet by the humans, and they all faced in the same direction, as if a prey approached them, it would be easier for them to run rather than running into each other. But even with the technology we have, there are some mysteries that we have not still yet solved.
Number 1.
These naturally preserved bodies were found all around northern Europe. Rather than decomposing, the bogs provided a perfect condition for the bodies to preserve, leaving the skin and the internal organs intact. Let's take a look. Our first story comes from Ireland. The island is famous for many things: Vikings, beer, and there are many famous celebrities from Ireland. Ireland is also the home to bog body mystery. Bogs is a soft and wet piece of land and is present all over northern Europe. Due to the highly acidic water, low temperature, and lack of oxygen, the bogs provided a perfect condition to preserve the body, keeping the skin and the internal organs undamaged. Shockingly, the skin had a severe tan and the bodies had no bones. The German scientist Alfred Dyck published a catalogue of more than 1850 bodies that he counted between 1939 and 1986. Some theories state that were people perceived as social outcasts or witches, as legal hostages killed in anger over a broken treaty arrangement, or even as victims of unusual death, eventually buried in bogs according to a traditional custom. But even with the theories, no one's sure why the bodies are here. But before we continue,
it's time for
Song of the Week
with DJ Decide.
What's up, everybody? This is DJ Decide at the start of the stick, you know what I'm saying? And this obviously is Song of the Week, and this week's song is Upgrade by Joji. In the song, Joji talks about a potential lover and how they feel about each other. They might have feelings for each other, and you should definitely check out the song. Follow me on Instagram, DJ Decide, and always remember to keep it lit. See you guys next week.
Everyone has played with dolls in one way or the other when they were kids. We all loved dolls as kids. As we grew up, dolls started to feel a eerie feeling that we cannot somehow explain. Our second mystery comes from Mexico City. Isla de las Muñecas, Spanish for Island of Dolls, is an island located in Camiclo neighborhood of Mexico City. As the legend goes, the caretaker of the island was taken by the guilt of failing to save a little girl who drowned there more than 50 years ago. Let's take a look at that. The Island of Dolls was originally owned by Don Julian Santa Barrera. The island is full of dolls hanging from the trees and buildings covered with cobwebs and insects. The place was named as the Island of Dolls during 1950s, when the owner began to hang them as a protection against evil spirit. According to the legend, a young girl drowned and tangled among the lilies of the canal, and her body was found on the banks of Santa China Baptist. Don Julian began to experience frightening situations, so terrified, placed the dolls that he found
in the carpet with the idea that they would scare away the soul of the young girl. The girl would often scream, "Quiere mi muñeca," which is Spanish for "I want my doll." He also found a doll floating nearby, and assuming it belonged to the deceased girl, he hung it from the tree as a sign of respect. Driven by fear, he spent the next 50 years hanging more and more dolls, some with missing body parts and some with insect all over them. These don't sound like the action of a person with a healthy grasp on reality. And indeed, there are many doubts surrounding this legend. Biggest question: the reality of the little girl who died. Many people, including Don Julian's own family, didn't believe that he ever found the girl. Although whether they believe he made it up or somehow was mistaken is unclear. What is clear that whether the girl existed or not, Don Julian devoted the rest of his life to her. And perhaps, creepiest of all, even the end of his life had clear ties to the story of the drowned child. Why doesn't she like me back?
Just let me